Hello again and welcome to one of the most very special episodes of the Fun Fan Podcast. We just might sit here and dance a little bit. Bailey, what do you think?
Hey, I'm all in, okay?
How
Do you believe in miracles?
How sweet it is. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host and Brad Brownell fan, Mr. Coach Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm doing great, and so is Brad.
So is Brad. Brad's doing fine, just fine in Memphis. We have a great show. We might sit here for a minute, just talk about how excited we are, but we're definitely going to get to some specifics on the basketball, and we're going to catch you up on all the other spring sports, just like we always do, because, I mean, you're talking about exciting. Wait till we get to the baseball. That baseball's been something else this weekend, too. But first, the Fun Fans are a proud part of the Fanboys Fangirls Sports Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys Fangirls is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and on all forms of social media. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans.
And let's don't forget about Roots Food, Sports, Spirits, and Catering, the best wings around with 2 locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. You can find them at RubensC.com, but I'm going to tell you, Rubens would have been a great place to eat before the game because I couldn't have eaten during the game. I felt like I coached it.
I know that's right. All right, well, let's just get right into it. All right, let's dial this music down. Bailey is he's the expert analyst, especially when it comes to basketball. Clemson, I don't even know the final score. This is low budget. My producer over here, which is me,
72-64.
72-64. All I know is the Tigers are headed to the Sweet 16. What's your first take about the game, Bailey?
Well, so first of all, Clemson just beat a really, really, really good team. They held a really, really good offensive team to 64 points, and they did it. I mean, they just played hard. People don't understand. You can't play with that intensity for 30-plus games throughout the year without having some things go bad. It just can't happen.
Right.
But like Chase Hunter, they keep interviewing Chase Hunter after the game. He says they're on a mission. They're out here to compete. And we're not going to Clemson. I say we, cause that's who I am.
That's we, baby.
Yeah.
We is us.
Clemson is not worried. We play in the best conference in America. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I think people are finally starting to see that. The ACC is now 7-0, not counting Virginia's little pigtail play-in loss.
And 4 out of the 5 teams that made the tournament, other than Virginia in that play-in game, are now still playing.
Correct.
Okay. So, the Wake Forest, the Pitts, the Boston colleges, Syracuse, there's some good teams in the ACC, and they got no respect throughout the year. And now I think Duke blew out. I mean, they just blew out James Madison. And then Clemson led for 36 minutes and 33 seconds of that basketball game.
And for the majority of that was, if not double digits, on the borderline of double digits, 8, 9, 10 points throughout the whole game. So just a couple quick things. So the intensity, and I know this is hard. It's hard to be as intense as we were on defense. And that's what, giving our kids credit. And I mean, they weren't hitting at the beginning of the game. They weren't really hitting some open shots too, but we were all over them. And that's hard to transition. We had a lot of layups come hard off the glass early in the game. And sometimes that's due to the intensity, but that was a necessary evil, I guess you could say, to keep such a high scoring offense.
Let me just
slow down like Baylor.
You know what that is? That's a game plan. That's coaching.
That's getting crunk.
Yeah, that's coaching. They hit 18 threes the other day.
Yes.
So we took that away from him. That is coaching. I don't know why people, I think I sent you the tweet the other day about the interview with PJ Hall talking about Coach Brownell and how they're sick of people talking about him. They love him. He's a great coach, and I'm sick of people talking about him. And I'm going to retweet every time somebody puts something bad out there about him because it's garbage.
Garbage.
And
So
Clay Sweeney's kid, he put on there, where are the haters at now?
right.
Retweet.
So you are correct. And great game plan, executed about as probably as good as you could possibly ask for it to be executed. You can tell. I go back to that first round. The first round game, I mean, was that a blowout, 20-something point win? Is that a blowout nowadays in basketball?
Yeah, and every analyst, with a few exceptions, said, "Oh, New Mexico is the hottest team in the country."
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So
you just got stomped.
You could tell the switching on the defense and giving up this to cover that kind of thing on that first game, and that seemed to work. The intensity and whatever we were doing, the switch, you probably might know some more specifics. I mean, it was exactly what needed to happen, and the kids went out there and executed it very well. I mean, honestly, probably the player that had the worst game for the Tigers was PJ. Bless his heart, he wasn't out on the court. Both games he hadn't been on the court very much, but when he was out there, he was contributing to a certain extent, but he really wasn't making baskets like he normally does.
Well, yeah, but I'll tell you who gave him big minutes. This is my quick analysis right after the game. Still kind of fired up. Let's just go to RJ Godfrey, who is a 56% free throw shooter, and he drained 4 in a row to go to the Sweet 16.
There you go.
So at the end of the game, I'm yelling at my son, they need to throw it to Gerard. Throw it to Gerard. Well, then Gerard threw it to Godfrey. Up 2. I'm like, I said, Witt's like, what's wrong? I said, he shoots 55.8% from the free throw line. He's like, uh-oh. And then he drained them. And yeah, so it's very hard to win. It's very hard to win that game. But, I thought Chauncey Wiggins gave him some great minutes too. He's the tallest player on the team.
Yes.
You don't realize that. But
because he
played some pretty good defense.
Big.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He played some really good defense. So it was
I agree.
I love it.
It was awesome. And kudos to Baylor. They made a run and almost, they came back. That game was a classic NCAA, first weekend game. I mean, if you're a third party and you've got some brackets and you picked one or the other, that last minute was as exciting as any game, as fun as any game that has happened this weekend. So that was pretty awesome. So congratulations to the Tigers going to Los Angeles. And who are we playing? Do we know who we're playing?
Arizona.
The Wildcats.
Yeah, so, and I would say I got 2 things I need to tell the NCAA right now. One, Hey, referees, you are a little suspect out there today. All right, that's all I'm going to say. I don't want anybody to find me. 2, every timeout, 30 seconds, there are no 30-second timeouts. They're all like 4 minutes. They add an extra minute on to the timeouts for this thing to pay the bills, and then they interview the coaches. I don't know of a coach in America that wants to be interviewed during a timeout in the first half.
It's part of the contract. It goes back to our other podcast about the players wanting to be employees. No, you don't.
No. Right. All right.
Well,
okay. Good.
Congratulations to the Baylor Bears for a great season. Congratulations to the Tigers for advancing to the Sweet 16. First time since 2019. And let's just be honest, it don't happen very often for the Tigers.
Because it's hard to do.
It's extremely hard to do. So let's talk about that. That can segue into any other analysis just real quick that may stand out about the dance. And we can start with the conference that everybody thought was so good, mainly the University of Kentucky. They're a really good team, and they got beat in the first round. They weren't playing today or yesterday, and that's the kind of thing that could happen.
Well, a team like NC State, a team like Clemson, a team like Duke, who had kind of struggled, limped into the tournament. And North Carolina, after the first 10 minutes yesterday, you have to play like it's going to be over if you don't play that way.
Right.
And what does Oakland, which is not in California, by the way, it's in Michigan.
So
What
confused.
and Clemson has played them periodically non-conference throughout the years. They have nothing to lose. So Kentucky, you better be ready. And when you
Right.
have, I tweet. I mean, I listen to WFNZ in Charlotte all the time, and I respond to them on their text line. And the other day they said, "What should we fire Calipari or Calipari, however you want to say it, or?" The coaching hadn't changed. The players have changed.
Well, there are some Kentucky fans that are all about getting rid of him. It's amazing. So that was big. The Pac-12 and the ACC are showing out. The SEC that everybody thought was good, not doing so good. Auburn went down and to Yale. So there's what you thought might be a Cinderella story with one of those two, but maybe not so much.
And then we got Alabama was tied up earlier with Grand Canyon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, and they're up 9 now, but I'll be honest with you. Purdue played great today. UConn is playing great. I wouldn't want to play either one of those teams.
Man, no.
There's some really good teams in this tournament, but it's gravy now. It's icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. And I guess the last team we'll mention, our friends in Columbia, made it to the dance, had a great season. They kind of didn't play as well as they probably can play, and they ran against an Oregon team that, my understanding, they were seeded. Oregon was seeded lower than their record and whatnot was due to some injuries earlier in the season, but they were full force and kind of a different team than what they were, 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Well, what you found out is that seeds 6 through 11 are basically the same.
Oh man, you could just press them together for sure. But Oregon looked really, really good, and
they played well last night because Creighton's really good.
Yeah. So congratulations to all the teams, no matter what. They got to know they had a great season, and congratulations once again to the Clemson. Who would you give the game ball to
today
for the Tigers? Yes, sir.
Brad Brownell. The whole team.
Yeah,
I don't do game balls.
Well, yeah, it's it was definitely a team effort. I think Shefflin had a great game. I think Hunter, I mean, those two kind of the bread and butter. So he could go to either one. And you just got to love how Gerard, he's just calm, cool, and collected. He did not have a great game against New Mexico, but shooters are going to shoot. And he was a lot better off tonight. But you know who? Sometimes you just get lucky. And speaking of getting lucky, have you seen the update of the Fun Fans bracket pool?
No.
You can't ever tell.
I've been locked in.
So, like, one of my daughters and your daughter are tied for second place.
Right.
One of my guidance counselors is at first, and she's literally she admits that she just picks stuff.
Right.
So it's all good. I think I'm in a 3-way tie for 8th or something like that, but we're hanging in there. We appreciate the folks that played, and we hope everybody's enjoying it. And the winner is going to get that sample pack of W energy drink. Go to w.qq, enter promo code FUNFANS for 10% off, because it looks like either Whitney, Katie, or Jillian is probably going to take away the free sample pack. So w.gg, get 10% off of your Jitterless energy drink. Yes, sir.
We never get to do this, but we're getting some comments over on the StreamYard comment board, and somebody says Clemson's done in the Sweet 16. Okay, that it's icing on the cake.
Yeah.
All right.
That's I know who that is.
You can toss them up in the air now.
Yeah.
You can. Hey, it's whoever's hitting shots and playing the best. And
Duke,
Duke national champs. Okay.
It could happen.
It could very well happen.
So, what's the chances of us going to LA this weekend? 0?
The chances for me are 0.
Okay. Yeah, probably me too. All right. So, basketball's awesome, no matter what. Another sport that's awesome, Clemson baseball.
Yeah.
Holy Grand Slam, Batman.
I turned the second game off yesterday. I turned it to basketball because I have 2 TVs and I had to make a decision.
Yeah.
And when Florida State was pounding it, I said, I'm not going to watch this. I'm going to watch basketball. And then I got a text that said, you might want to flip it back over.
I want to tune in.
Well, so I missed it. But then my son and I went back and watched it last night, watched the bottom of the ninth, which is unheard of.
That was awesome. So I was at a track meet. My daughter throwing the shot and disc. And so I was watching some stuff and keeping up with the first game on my phone. And
they 10-run ruled them.
They 10-run ruled them. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing for college baseball. And maybe it don't happen very often. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was a thing. And to do that to Florida State is awesome. And then on our way home, we went to Rubens. Okay, of course.
Really?
So I'm driving during most of the other game. And I get home and we settle in and is tired and took a little short nap or whatever. So I go to tune into the second game. I don't tune in until like the 8th inning. Right. And I'm like, holy cow, we're not doing very good here. So I just left it on. And then it was on like Donkey Kong. That bottom half of the inning was unreal. And then turn around and did it again today. Very similar.
So it ain't over till it's over. That's what Yogi Berra said. Right?
It ain't over till it's over. But you know what? One of the most important things that happened, or not most important, but one of the most meaningful things that happened. The kid, and you probably remember his name, the one that hit all the grand slams. Mm-hmm. He got to wear the hat.
Blake Hall.
Yes.
I think it's hilarious. It's Mustache March. They all have the same stash, and then the everybody in the bleachers has it. So that's cool.
Yeah, it was funny. That was good. Not many people get to wear that hat, but Dean posted a picture of him wearing his. He let him wear his hat.
So Florida State came in undefeated, and got 10-run ruled, and then walked off.
Is there any way Clemson baseball will not, being ranked where you are right now it's not meaningless, but it's not. Don't mean too terribly much, but how are they not going to be the number 1 team in the country?
I don't know. Vanderbilt's in front of them, and honestly, there's like 5 different polls.
Well, they were talking about some RPI stuff that already has Clemson in the top 3,
right?
Before the series with Florida State, but anyway, definitely got me thinking on Omaha. So we'll see.
Audible.
Good job, Clemson baseball. Keep it up. All right. Softball. They dropped
beat by the Gamecocks.
Well, so they lost for the first time ever to South Carolina midweek, and they dropped 2 out of 3 to Virginia. And not sure
without their 2 best players.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Cagel's out, so somebody else is out as well, huh?
Yeah, Cagel's like 3 players.
Yeah, this is true. So
like that guy in football that plays wide receiver, safety, and punts and returns kicks. That's like Cagle.
So like us when we were in high school? No?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. I wish we'd had a 10-run rule when I played Legion baseball. I know that because we were terrible.
Speaking of bouncing back, our gymnastics team finished the season, and they finished second in the conference, first in the inaugural year. So that's pretty awesome. All right.
Man,
that pretty much catches up with Clemson sports.
Yeah, I feel like I played.
I'm tired. Now I'm tired. Yeah. Yes, it's been a day. It's been a great day. It's always a great day to be a Tiger, but today is definitely a great day. So just a couple more announcements. You realize we're 1 week away from spring football.
I hope I can get that fired up for the Renegades, the Arlington Renegades, my favorite team in the UFL.
The Roughnecks. I hadn't got my Roughneck T-shirt. I'm gonna have to check my tracking number on that thing. So, and I checked out Rod Garner and his wife on Amazing Race Wednesday night. We were on the show. We talked about he was on there, and I think they're like in first place or something. So if you're keeping up with that, go Mr. and Mrs. Garner. Good luck to them. Spring football. Clemson spring game, April 6th. And you know what else comes in April? I had to start whispering.
The Masters.
I had to use my golf voice.
Yes, it's the greatest weekend of golf.
Yes. It's right around. It's right around in the script. I put it's right around the amen corner.
Right.
It's pretty
Because
big.
not only that, but at the golf course that I play at, we have a really cool tournament that Saturday. So that'd be fun.
Big weekend. Big weekend. All right. Well, Bailey, unless you have anything else, that's the end of the show because it is sweet. It was a sweet show.
It does feel better, doesn't it?
It does feel better. You know what? I got to admit, there was a moment I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this show. If we mess around and lose this game, that's going to be hard. It's like we're professionals.
Well, you have to. The show must go on. That's another saying. And I was preparing myself. Not that they were going to collapse, but they just, when you haven't been in that situation, it's hard to say what's going to happen But I'm just telling you, Godfrey's 2 free throws were huge, bigger than big.
Yep.
I mean, that dude can't shoot a lick in January, and then he goes out there and just calmly strokes 4 free throws to send the Tigers.
So there's your game ball, baby. There's your game ball guy.
Yeah, I mean, team win.
Shout out,
team.
Shout out to Godfrey. Yeah, so I'm have way too much pride in me and you getting on here right after that game, win or lose. Be honest with you.
Right.
But it's fun. It's what we do.
We quit.
We hope everybody has half as much fun as we have when we do these shows, and we appreciate the folks watching. And we are very proud of our Tiger basketball team. I've already said baseball has got me thinking of Omaha. Oh, big shout out and thanks to the folks that entered our bracket. Hopefully those guys are having a good time. And, come back Wednesday. We're going to have some special upcoming shows Wednesday and Sunday. Thanks again for checking us out each and every Sunday and Wednesday. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fan Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media and please share the shows. Feel free to reach out to be a sponsor as well. But on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, and Bailey Jackson.
And ACC haters, you were wrong this year. Clemson haters, you were wrong this year. Go Tigers.
Hey, the rule is don't be a hater.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.